we are going to talk about how to invest in Tesla stock and make real money. This is a question that has been asked by millions of people over the last few months, because Elon Musk's Tesla is one of the most popular stocks on the market right now. This video will show you the step-by-step process that you need to follow to purchase Tesla stock, as well as my personal strategy for generating $100 of income per month from the Tesla stock, which I have done for almost 3 years now. So if you want to make at least $100 of passive income every month, stick around until the end of this video and I'll show you exactly how to do that. Now let's get started with the first part of the video. If you are completely new to investing or you just don't know how to buy stocks, no problem. That's why I made this video. In just a few minutes, you will be able to open your first position in Tesla stock. Let's go to Vanguard, Charles Schwab, or a trade and open a new account. You can use any of these platforms. They are all very similar. Once you are on their website, click on Open an Account button. The process to open an account is pretty much the same for all of them. You will need to fill out some basic information such as your name, address, social security number, etc. Then you will need to link your bank account and deposit some money into your new brokerage account. And once that is done, you will be able to see your available balance in the top right corner of your screen. Now we are ready to buy Tesla stock. Click on Trade and Trade Options. Search for Tesla stock symbol TSLA and select it. Then choose how many shares of Tesla you want to buy. For example, I will type in 2 here, but keep in mind that the more shares you buy, the more money you will need to spend. Since Tesla stock is currently trading at around $700 per share, 2 shares will cost us around $1,400. However, if you only have $100 or $500 to spare, don't worry, because you can always start with just 1 share. And if you still don't have enough money to buy even 1 share of Tesla, you can simply skip to the next part of this video, where I will share my secret method that will allow you to buy fractional shares of Tesla at a much cheaper price. Once you are done, click on Buy. Congratulations, you just bought Tesla stock. If you want to check your order status, click on My Account, then Trades. Here, you should be able to see your recent order for 2 shares of Tesla. So now you officially own 2 shares of Tesla. Awesome, right? But wait a second, where's my dividend? How come I didn't receive my dividend payment? Well, unfortunately, Tesla does not pay dividends. That's why you didn't receive anything. Elon Musk decided to reinvest all of the company's profits back into research and development, instead of giving them away to shareholders as dividends. However, there is a way to get paid without actually owning the stock. More on that later in this video. First, let's take a look at the history of Tesla stock. Since its IPO in 2010, Tesla stock has generated a total return of 19,338%. This means that if someone had invested just $1,000 into Tesla at its IPO, that investment would be worth over $19,000 today. But keep in mind that Tesla stock is extremely volatile. It has seen many ups and downs throughout its history. In fact, Tesla stock is one of the most shorted stocks on the market. There are currently over $16 billion worth of short interest in Tesla stock. So if you decide to invest in Tesla, please do so with caution. Alright, now let me share with you my personal strategy that will allow you to get paid up to $100 of passive income every single month without owning the actual Tesla stock. First, let's take a look at this screenshot from Tesla's latest earnings report. The company's revenue was $10.35 billion, but they only earned $3.3 billion in net income. This means that for every $100 of revenue, Tesla only earns 32 cents in profit. Not too good, right? But what about the expenses? Well, Tesla spent $2.6 billion on selling, general, and administrative expenses, and $1.9 billion on research and development. Tesla spent a total of $4.5 billion on expenses. That means that for every $100 of revenue, Tesla spends 43 cents on expenses. In other words, Tesla spends more than they earn. Not a good sign? But wait a minute. On top of that, Tesla also needs to pay interest on their debt. Tesla currently has $37 billion worth of debt at an interest rate of 6%. That's $2.22 billion per year. That means that for every $100 of revenue, Tesla needs to pay 22 cents in interest. In other words, Tesla is spending more money on expenses and interest payments than they are actually making in profit. This is why Tesla's net income is so low, but there is hope. Tesla is growing very fast. Their revenue is increasing every year, which means that they will eventually be able to cover all of their expenses and interest payments with their profits. When that happens, Tesla will become extremely profitable. But when exactly will that happen? Well, no one knows for sure. But I believe that it will happen sooner rather than later. That's why I'm investing in Tesla. I'm betting on their future profitability. Now, how can you make money on Tesla stock if the company is not profitable yet? Well, there are 2 ways to do it. The first way is to simply hold on to your Tesla stock and wait for the company to become profitable. If you buy Tesla stock at the right price, you could make a lot of money when the company finally starts paying dividends. But the second way is much better. What if I told you that you could get paid every single month without having to wait for Tesla to become profitable? And on top of that, you could also make money if Tesla stock goes down in price. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's not. Let me explain. If you are an investor, you probably already know that there are two ways to make money in the stock market. The first way is to buy low and sell high. This is the most common way to make money in the stock market. You buy a stock when it's cheap, and then you sell it when it's expensive. But what if you could make money even if the stock price goes down? That's where options come in. With options, you can make money in both rising and falling markets. And the best part is that you do need to own the stock to make money with options. Let me show you an example. Let us say you think that Tesla stock is going to rise above $750 in the next few months. You can sell a call option with a strike price of $750. If Tesla stock rises above $750, you will make money from selling the option. But what if Tesla stock doesn't rise above $750? No problem. You still make money from selling the option. And on top of that, you also make money from the stock price going down. In this example, you made money no matter what happened. This is what makes options so powerful. However, there is a catch. Selling options is a very risky strategy. If you don't know what you're doing, you could easily lose a lot of money. That's why I strongly recommend that you do not sell options unless you fully understand the risks involved. There are several ways to get paid without ever owning the stock itself. One of the most popular strategies is selling covered calls against your shares of the stock you own. This way, you can generate $100 of monthly income without risking any of your capital. You can use the money you receive from selling covered calls to buy more shares of the stock you own. This will increase the amount of money you receive from selling covered calls each month. This is a great way to grow your investment portfolio without taking on any additional risk. Another way to get paid without owning the stock is through dividends. Not all stocks pay dividends, but those that do can provide a nice stream of passive income. When a company pays a dividend, they typically do so on a quarterly basis. This means that you will receive a payment every 3 months. If you own shares of a dividend-paying stock, this is a great way to supplement your income and make money without having to actively trade. Finally, another way to get paid without owning the stock is by lending your shares out through a service like 0D. When you lend your shares out, you are essentially allowing someone else to borrow them with the agreement that they will return them to you at a later date. The borrower will typically pay you a fee for borrowing your shares, which can provide a nice stream of passive income. Keep in mind that this strategy is not without risk. However, if the borrower defaults on their loan, you may not get your shares back. Additionally, the fees you receive for lending out your shares may not be as high as other forms of passive income. So there you have it, 3 ways to get paid without ever owning the stock. Whether you choose to sell covered calls, collect dividends, or lend your shares out, these strategies can provide a nice stream of passive income. Just be sure to do your research and understand the risks involved before getting started. Now you know how to make money with Tesla stock without actually owning the stock. If you want to learn more about investing, check out my other videos. Thank you for watching.